at the 66th LCMS National Convention, we had the chance to interview Dr. Ryan Anderson before his address to the convention on religious liberty and the institution of marriage. How does your natural law approach to marriage differ from a theological approach? And in what ways is this argument effective, especially in today's cultural climate?
Sure. To a certain extent, the natural law approach to marriage is a complement to the theological approach, because it says that marriage has both a nature and a supernature, that marriage has secular purposes and sacred purposes. And so the natural law account wants to look at the nature of marriage, look at those secular purposes, and then theologians can build on that and talk about those sacred, supernatural aspects of marriage. So from a natural law perspective, marriage is kind of built on three secular truths. An anthropological truth that men and women are distinct and complementary, a biological fact that reproduction requires a man and a woman, and then a social reality that children deserve both a mother and a father. This is why the government's not in the baptism business, it's not in the bar mitzvah business, but it is in the marriage business. Because of the nature of marriage, while it leaves churches, synagogues, mosques free to do sacred activities, the church is going to be looking at marriage not as a sacrament or as a covenant, but as a natural institution. One reason why I think this has purchase with millennials, with younger people, is that before they can see the supernature of marriage, they need to see the nature of marriage. They're going to think that Christ's teaching about marriage are bigoted, that they're outdated, that they're wrong, if they don't see grace building upon nature. And so we first need to get the nature of marriage right.
As religious freedom becomes more and more threatened, what attitude or tone should the church put forth? And in what ways can the church remain compassionate without compromising its beliefs?
Sure. The church here should be talking about religious liberty as a natural right, as a human right, as a God-given right. My former boss, Richard John Newhouse, used to say it's God's will that we not fight over God's will. And that's going to be true when it comes to religion, both within the Christian church, so there are different denominations, different schisms within the Christian church, but also outside of it. We think that there's a matter of a natural right. People have the right to seek out the truth about God, to respond to the truth as they discern it, and to live their lives in accordance with the truth as they understand it, free from government discrimination, free from government coercion. So the role for the church here is to be defending that natural right, that human right for all people, whether we agree with them or disagree with them.
I'm Sarah Rensel, reporting from the 66th National LCMS Convention in Milwaukee.